All right, so this is our second chart for RL.2. So it really just builds off the first one. Now, when you're doing your evidence for this one, again, I suggest you just straight up copy and paste. And so I'm going to highlight all of my direct copy and paste stuff pink. Makes me feel better. And so you're going to start with inference number 1, which of course is the inference that you made in this box. So I took down my inference from my first box, and then I moved it down here just to kind of look at it. So I've completed my first piece of evidence. I probably won't do the whole chart in this video, just kind of want to show you. So what's really cool about this inference is obviously your first piece of evidence is whatever you observe from the text up here. Whatever piece of evidence you use up here will be your first piece of evidence. And then you just have to go find 2 other pieces that support what you're thinking. And I'll probably go find 1 other piece just to show you how to do it. So my inference was he thinks what he did, aka murdering the old man because of his eye, is okay. So I added up here that he loved the old man, and so I'm going to put that's from paragraph 3. Now, how strong do I think this evidence is? There was no reason for what I did. I did not hate the old man. I even loved him. I never had him. It was not that he wanted to hurt me. I'm going to put that this is actually a 3 because it doesn't explicitly state that he thinks it's okay. So if I can find a piece of evidence that says that the old man thought it was okay, then I'd be like hopping. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try and find, but a 3 is just kind of one where it does support it, but I had to take a couple leaps, which makes sense because that's where I got my inference from. So for evidence 2, I'm going to click over to my handy dandy story, and I'm going to go peruse and see if I can find why he thinks that it's okay. As you can see, I'm perusing. I found other pieces, but I'm trying to find a really good one. Okay. So it's going to seem like a lot, but I'm going to put right here this whole little, I'm actually going to put a whole paragraph, which is kind of ridiculous, but because of the way it's written, I feel like you have to put it all together. So I'm actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is paragraph 12. So I'm actually going to put just the first 2 sentences from paragraph 12. So I'm going to click back over to my video. I'm going to say that this piece of evidence, paste, and I'm going to make it pink. Okay, this is from paragraph 12. All right, so I could go find it later. I'm going to rate this evidence at a 5, and my reason being, oh, wrong color. My reason being is that he says, so I am mad, you say. You should have seen how careful I was to put the body where no one could find it. So he still thinks what he did's okay because he's over here saying, oh, you think I'm crazy, but you should have seen how. So he's all this time justifying that what he did was okay and that he is not crazy. So I'm going to put that as a 5 because I feel like this particular, actually I think it's a 4. It's not even a 5. What I'm doing is based off an inference, so there's always going to be some type of logical leap here. I'm going to put it at a 4 because it doesn't explicitly say it, I still have to draw more conclusions, but he really does think that what he did is okay. And then he always has evidence to try and back up why he thinks what he did is okay. So this is kind of going to be how you think about it. You're going to take whatever conclusion you drew, okay? Even if your conclusion is homeboy is crazy, you're going to have to come up with 3 pieces of evidence that proves that he is indeed crazy. And then think about, you have to rank them 1 through 5 on how strong they are. Strong, 5 is the strongest. And to be 5, it needs to be like explicitly stated. Like, this person is XYZ, okay? So that's always going to be the strongest. 4 is there's a little bit of wiggle room. 3 is kind of like, oh, you got to make a weak. 1 is it's there, but it's not really connected. So you have to think about it from, is it saying what I want to say? 5 strongest. 1, it's kind of there. It's eh. 1 is just eh. Like if I saw it and you were like, Miss Roundtree would think this is trash, that's probably a 1. I shouldn't see you ranking anything up here a 1. Okay, and then down here at the bottom, you're just going to justify why you picked whichever one you thought was the strongest. Okay, so you shouldn't have 2 3s, you shouldn't have 2 4s. Hopefully, you should have a 1 2 3 4, or a 1 2 4 5, or that's more than 3. But you know what I'm saying. You should have like a 2 4 5, and then whichever one you ranked as a 4 or a 5, whichever one ended up being your strongest. Then I want you to tell me why it was the strongest. So that's where you have to break it down and kind of think about why. So I did it when I justified why it was a 4. That thought process where you have he says this and it proves that he thinks this kind of deal, okay? All right, I hope this is helpful. Good job, everyone.